Please don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell for future videos. Thank you. Hey, what's up guys? Houston here, and for those of you just finding my YouTube channel, welcome. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that bell. Now, here's the thing. We're going to be talking about the elephant in the room, and the elephant in the room is Credit Karma. And the reason that I have this, avoid Credit Karma for credit score, is because of the inaccuracy. And you've been seeing a lot of that in the media. And I made an existing video explaining this, and I'll put that in the link below. Now, here's the situation. Let's look at Credit Karma. Credit Karma uses Vantage, right? So Vantage scores 350 to 850, okay? And Fico uses this scoring, these numbers as well. So Credit Karma is Vantage, okay? So that's what they use, Vantage, all right? But here's the thing about it. With Credit Karma, they're only pulling from 2 credit bureaus. So they pull from TransUnion and Equifax, right? Now here's the situation. Equifax, they report late, okay? They don't always report on time. This is one of the factors that Navy Federal started relying more on TransUnion for their credit cards and their loans versus Equifax. They'll use Equifax to open up your account, but TransUnion for the credit cards and the loans, okay? So just so you understand that tip about it, but going back to Credit Karma, so this is what they're pulling from. And understanding that because Equifax is pulling in, reporting their data late, guess what? Credit Karma is reporting their data late, right? So where you may assume I have a 700 credit score with Credit Karma, and you're excited, but then you go to a car dealership, the car dealer says, well, you have a 620. That's a 80-point difference, okay? And this is pretty average. Credit Karma scoring system is usually 50 to 80 points off. 50 to 80 points off, and this is why I keep telling people do not rely on Credit Karma's scoring, okay, in terms of like having a brief look at your file to see what's going on and stuff like that. It can do that, but in terms of really looking to find out, hey, I'm looking to get credit on a car, a mortgage, or financing and stuff like that, this Credit Karma, you don't want to use that. You want to look at Fico. And the reason Fico, because you have your banks and credit unions that both use this. Now, who uses Vantage? Now, with Vantage, you have some credit unions that may take a look at it, but also like with American Express. American Express may look at one of your Vantage scoring system, but most of the time, here's something that many people don't know, that a lot of banks and credit unions, they also have their own internal scoring, right? So that's the reason you may hear somebody say, well, I got a credit card from American Express and I have a 620. Well, yeah, but they still have internal scoring, and they have other data points that they decide, hey, we still want to do business with you, because you may have a bank account with them. A savings account with them. You may be using the Serve card, debit card with them. So those are some of the things that is going to influence this. Now, here's something that you all really need to know. Where Vantage score, okay, the TransUnion Equifax, right? That's those data points. Where Fico, there you're going to use all 3. So now they're going to use TransUnion, Equifax, Experian, but guess what else they're going to use? LexisNexis. And I'm going to make a future video explaining about them and why it's so important that you have access to your LexisNexis credit file. But in terms of Credit Karma, that's the reason, because they're not pulling in all of the data. right? And with Fico, they're pulling in all the data from everywhere. And another thing about Credit Karma, like you may have a medical bill. So you may have a medical bill for $50, okay? Well, with the Vantage score, it pulls in that data, and that medical collection, even if you paid it still counts against you, right? However, Fico, if you have $100, up to $100 medical bill, this will not count against you. As a matter of fact, with the new credit laws, medical bills does not calculate into your new FICO scoring. That's one of the steps that they made, that your medical bills, because you could not control it, of getting sick and stuff like that. So that's their rationale, that they won't calculate that into your scoring. So most people don't know that, and they don't understand it. Now, in terms of like Vantage, now here's why I tell people don't use Credit Karma, okay? Not only for the financing, but here's their benefit. If we can show less data points and get you a higher credit score, what's going to happen? You go to Credit Karma, you say that you have a 700 credit score. Guess what? They're going to say, oh, you get approved for this credit card and this personal loan, right? So guess what? You're going to apply for this credit card and this personal loan through their system. Every time you apply for a credit card, personal loan through their system, whether you get approved or not, that's a lead for them, and they're going to make money. So when people say, oh, I use Credit Karma, trust me, it's not free. And again, a lot of the data points, they're not picking up. So that's the reason people don't know why I have such a high Vantage score on Credit Karma versus my FICO score. Again, it's because of the information they're not picking up to actually show you what's in your real credit file. Again, to take a glimpse of what's going on with your credit, it's okay, but to rely on it to get credit cards and funding, I wouldn't do that. Because again, you're looking at Vantage score, it says 700, but then you apply for this credit card or this personal loan and you get denied. And you're like, what the hell, Credit Karma? Why would I get denied if I got a 700? It's because they didn't pick up all the data points in which your real FICO score wasn't a 700, it was a 620. So this is why you need to understand why you should be avoiding Credit Karma on the scoring side of things and actually be looking at your FICO score. Okay, and if you want access to your FICO score, yes, it does cost. However, like with your banks and stuff, if you have a bank account, if you have a credit card with your bank or loan and stuff, they usually will give you your FICO score, okay, not the Vantage, but your FICO score. Then that way you can actually see, okay, this is what my real score is. And I'll tell you something else, even like with your creditors, like your credit cards and stuff, their FICO score, again, their FICO score may be a few points off from your overall FICO score. And so in order to see your real overall FICO score, don't go to a mortgage lender because it's going to put an inquiry on your credit file, okay? And that's going to drop your credit score. You probably want to, yes, you want to pay for it, okay? But like with people get Identity IQ, Identity IQ again, they're okay, but they're not going to pick up all the data points, so you're still going to see a discrepancy in your credit score. The best one is my FICO, okay? Now, because they have over 28 data points, and so those data points is telling them everything that's going on with your credit file and everything. So this is what, and I'll put a link below so that you'll be able to check my FICO out. But that's where you, and yes, they do cost, but you're going to get real information. Like I said, because with your credit bureaus, if they're reporting late, Credit Karma is picking up this information late, right? So those data points, and they're only picking up from 2 data points. And you have these other important data points that's also affecting your personal credit, all right? So if you just finding my YouTube channel, welcome. Again, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that bell, but so that you understand why. Again, I understand it's free. It gives you a snapshot, but do not rely on it because it actually, these numbers are not as accurate. Again, your score is between 50 to 80 points off with your Fico. With your Vantage score coming from Credit Karma. So this is Houston with three-way funding. I ask you to please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you.